Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us again this week on our weekly Connection show, bringing different groups and organizations into our studio and hopefully passing on some good information to you, our viewers, in our viewing area. Our next guest on the show today is John Henderson. I've known John for a long time, and John is with the Henderson School District, but more importantly, he's with a program, or has a program that he's responsible for that's a little different. It's quite exciting, and it's gotten a lot of accolades across the state of Arkansas in particular. John, thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me here.
It's been a while. We see each other just passing anymore. We used to see each other quite often.
Yeah.
East, tell us a little bit about the East program, then we're going to get into some specifics.
All right, East stands for Environmental and Spatial Technology. That really doesn't give you any idea of what we do. We are a classroom that has a lot of technology, and community service is a big priority for us. We like to do things to benefit the community. And so you've seen, well, my classroom at the middle school, we had a project a couple years ago where we put some exercise equipment around Lake Harrison. The junior high this year has had a project, or last year with that hand, the prosthetic hand that they developed using a 3D printer. It's really, it's a classroom that is, we don't have tests, we don't have, classic type of assignments. Kids come up with their own projects, something that they're interested in, something they have a passion about, and they pursue that. And we have the technology that allows them to do a lot of things that they normally couldn't do. Things like 3D printers, and we do a lot with videography and film editing, and we're starting to move a little bit more towards website development and coding, programming, that type of stuff also. Fantastic. High school has done some amazing things with technology, and they've got some projects they're working on right now, along with one that they're teaming with the middle school about. But they've had some kids just do some incredible stuff up there as well.
So, John, is this middle school students, junior high and high school? Is that the range?
Yeah, we started out with the East program started at the middle school. The second group was at the high school, and then the junior high got a class last year.
Okay. Now, don't you have another person that also teaches the East program? Are you doing all the?
I do only the middle school. Anthony Bright is at the high school, and Mary Beth Hatch is at the junior high.
Three different teachers. Okay, instructors and so forth. We were talking before our show, and I asked John, I said, well, is this a nationwide program? And he said, well, it is in other states, but it actually started in Greenbrier, Arkansas. So it's an Arkansas-originated program.
It is an Arkansas program, and it has as a education model, it is starting to be emulated around the country, and has won several awards for the things that they have been able to accomplish. It's really, to me, it's what education is going to be in the future. It's all project-based. It allows kids to really do things they just couldn't do. And we've had kids who, we have our state test, and that measures your proficiency in literacy or math. But we have kids who speak before the city council and go to do presentations. And the things that they learn, and how to write a letter, the gain in confidence, the gain in, just persistence to be able to see a project through, are things you can't really measure, but those are important skills in our world today.
Absolutely.
Those are the things that we really, for 21st century jobs, that's what they look for. People who can solve problems, people who are creative, people who can work together. And so that's what East is really trying to accomplish. It's the process of doing the project that we look at. The projects quite often get a lot of publicity, but it's the process of doing that project where you see all the student growth. And you will see kids who have never before been able to stand up and speak to a group, and now all of a sudden they're talking to, the Kiwanis Club or the Rotary Club and doing a good job. So that's really what East is about. It's, a lot of our projects get attention, but it's the growth of those students during the process of that project that's really important.
Wow, that is. That's really individual building. And
absolutely.
The East program itself, Is it something? Do you sign up out there when you go to when school starts? Do you sign up for the East program like you would any other elective type program, or how do you get? How would the
It's handled differently at all the different schools. Usually, the junior high and high school, it's an elective.
Okay.
So the students will sign up for it. We've done it a couple different ways at the middle school. We've had it to where all the kids were exposed to it at one time. This year, because of time constraints, we've limited to we've limited to about 20 students this year.
Okay.
And those were just students who had gone through an application process at the end of last year to get into East.
Now, would they get credit for the East program? Like, is there a credit?
Yes, junior high and high school, it's a regular credit class. Okay. And of course, we're moving. The schools are all across the state are moving more towards computer science, and I'm not sure exactly how those credits will be in the future. But right now it would be an elective credit for most of the classes.
I was assuming it probably would be. Anything else you want to touch on the East program, and then we want to get into this other program?
No, East, I think I pretty much covered it. East is, to me, like I say, it's the future of education. It's the direction we need to go. I think you'll be hearing a lot more about East in the future.
That's great, and it's good to hear that it is moving into other states and other systems across the country. And it, obviously, I like what your concept is very well. Ozarks Maker Center project is a project under the East program. I guess is that correct?
Yes.
Would I say that?
And what East does is East will typically partner with somebody in the community to accomplish a project.
Okay.
In this case, we are partnering with the Boone County Heritage Museum. I'm also on the board of directors at the museum. So this was in the beginning a museum project that morphed into an East project. Maker centers are something that have been around since about the 1970s. And very few people have heard of them, but a Maker Center is kind of like a community center with tools. It's a place where people can go and learn how to use things like 3D printers, laser cutters, CNC machines, where they normally couldn't have access to that type of stuff. So there is we're not having to start from scratch here. There are business models all across the country. I think there's a couple thousand of them now around the world, several hundred in the United States, including the Hub of Innovation in North Little Rock. Hub of Innovation is also working on one to be open in Fayetteville in the next year. So we want to do something similar to that. We want to have a place where people can come in after school or even during the school day and use a laser cutter. We will also have woodworking equipment. We will have some metalworking equipment. We'll have welders. Basically a place where you can come and fabricate anything that you want to fabricate. If you have an idea to make something, or if you just want to learn how to write code, or if you want to learn how to make a robot, or to program, or learn how to edit video, we want to be able to supply that service. If you want to go work at Pace and you need to have the skills to run a CNC machine, we want to be like an internship for companies like that. Or if you just need to retrain for a new job and you want to get into computer science, you want to learn how to program or learn how to create a really good website. Maybe you have a business and you need a website for that business. That's what we want to be able to provide. If you're a father and you have a son who comes home every day and plays on video games, come to the Maker Center. Learn how to make your own video game. Build a birdhouse. Do something. We want to get people doing things rather than just being passive, passively entertained by TV or video games.
Yeah, that's gotten to really be a major issue with these young people today. In fact, you can see generations gone by and the generations today and our future out there. I'm sure there's people in the viewing audience that have kids that as soon as they get home from school, first thing they want to do is get on the couch or go in their room and start playing video games or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as you do it in increments, or you do it with some control. And I'd much rather see children get involved in being constructive and building on things that they'll use in the future.
Right.
I doubt unless they can compete on a national level playing video games, they're probably not going to make a whole lot of money in the future, even though they're fun at the time. We got about 3 minutes left. Okay, so the instruction to these people that will come in to your place down at by the museum there, to the building there, will you have other instructors coming in?
Absolutely.
I'm assuming you will. It's a community-based program.
Yes, and what we want is if we're going to have a CNC machine, we want instructors from PACE. We've actually been approached by FedEx about them supplying instructors for programming to do some of the things that they're doing. We want to find these experts in the community to come in and teach a class. We have high school kids who have, two brothers in particular, the Divine brothers. They have, I'm sure, have been in some local news here. They built their own quadricopter and have started their own company taking pictures and did a fabulous job. I mean, these guys, they programmed their own thing. They fabricated a lot of the pieces on a 3D printer that they have at their house. They could teach a class on that, and kids could come in and learn how to make their own quadricopter. And at the end of the week, they've got something that they made and programmed themselves and can go out and fly themselves. We want to have classes in robotics. We want to have classes in even things like sewing and cooking. We want to have all that available and really cater to the needs of this community.
That's fantastic. And then again, we have a lot of resources here.
Absolutely.
And for a small town, small market area, we have a lot of resources. Junior college here, the technical school, obviously all the things you're talking about, we offer at the technical college.
Right.
I call it the North Campus still.
Right.
But many other areas here, and we have a lot of people that are out there that teach classes. Or volunteer to teach classes for the college, non-credit classes,
sure,
which are kind of in line with what you're talking about, that love to do that. They just makes them feel good. Their instruction and getting people in tune with what they're doing, whether it's birdhouses or whatever it may be. So we only got about a minute left. I got to tell you, I think this is a great step in the right direction, and no better than the East program to kind of push it forward, because it's very similar. You're doing it with kids now. You're offering it for adults or whoever wants to get out there and take part.
We actually, I think the high school East class will be heavily involved in this, teaching after school classes to younger kids. So it serves a double purpose. Our young teachers, our young facilitators who are in high school now will get the experience of teaching along with learning at the same time. So it's going to be great for everybody, I believe.
We want to stay in tune with this, John. If you would keep us posted here at the station, we'd love to have you on again, or we'd like to come over and we'll bring cameras and set up and come over and show some of this going on, so people will see what's on. And we put it, of course, on our broadcast and on the web and Facebook and all that stuff.
Well, we have a 6,500 square foot building, and
that's going to be great over there. That'll be good. I'm glad you got that, by the way. John, thanks for coming in today. We appreciate it. Good to see you. I hadn't seen you in a while, and congratulations. You're a wonderful job here on this East program.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate you coming
anytime. Ozarks Maker Center Project. You'll hear that a lot around the area. Glad you could join us on Connection today. We hope you brought some information to you may not know about. Check us each week as we bring in different groups here into our studio.